Oh boy.
We are playing Hearts of Iron Old World Blues, a mod for Hearts of Iron World War II game that puts it in the world of Fallout. If you don't know Fallout, specifically Fallout New Vegas, you may be a little lost, but I'll try my best to keep people caught up. Let me turn down
It also helps to have knowledge about Fallout 1 and 2, but that's not at all required reading.
Yeah. I'd say in order of importance it goes new... Well, actually, no, doesn't matter. I can just fill people in as we go.
See, big brain over here. I didn't even think about that. I was like,
We already did a video on this previously, but to basically catch people up, we are playing as Mr.House, a pre-war industrial head who ran a robotics company. He foresaw the war coming and rigged himself up to super life support and a computer. And now he commands a robot army and he protects Las Vegas, which is dubbed New Vegas, because he loves Vegas.
because he is like the ultimate ANCAP.
Yeah. And so our current concerns is there's a raider group known as the Khans right here that we're preparing to attack. To our north, there's raiders controlling Area 51, known as the Sky Reavers. And the big thing to keep an eye on is, if I switch to faction view, excuse me, all the white people are just independent factions. All this is the NCR, and this is Caesar's Legion. NCR being a group trying to reform the old world government, the New California Republic, and Caesar's Legion trying to build a Nueva Rome. And soon enough, they're gonna fight over Hoover Dam. And that, who wins that war will be a big importance to us, because whoever wins the war, they will eventually turn their attention to us. Now, the Legion will just want to kill us. But if we play our cards right, there might be a way for us to join the NCR. So, ideally, we want them to win that war. This group right here is an extension of the NCR, the Mojave Territories. They're just some small allies to them. But, anyway, we're gonna get into this. I have it playing at full speed. What we were talking about when the audio wasn't working a moment ago is, they've made some slight changes to the lore, the mod makers, one of them being the protagonist of Fallout New Vegas, the courier, doesn't actually exist in this reality. Oh, hold on. I got a governmental decision.
I remember the devs talking about, or on their on the Steam forums. I remember they posted a Q&A, and one of the people asked about the divide, because that was kind of a big thing for most people. Was that, holy shit, this thing that was in the thing, and like it's considered to be canon, is here now.
Yeah, which in our game, the divide has been taken over by the NCR.
Oh, nice. Okay, never mind then. I mean,
well, go on with what you were saying, though.
I was just going to talk about how in a lot of, I've seen a lot of, like, where was I going to go with that? Oh yeah, okay. So the main thing that I noticed with that is that all of the devs were like, listen, we wanted to keep this in here as like a teaser, but we're probably going to be working on other more pertinent things before we get that done. And it was like, okay, I commend your like honesty, but also like, please do the thing.
Yeah, because right now the divide uses the generic, like, so hang on. For context, every faction has a like quest chain, like House has a unique one, NCR has a unique one, Legion has a unique one. All these people have unique trees pertaining to the story that their civilization tells. But a lot of them, like Klamath up here, use generic trees. So Klamath is using the generic civilization tree. There's like 30 plus groups in the game that use this quest tree. And the divide uses that generic civilization tree as well, that generic settlements tree. So yeah, I guess his plans is what you're saying, for them to give the divide a unique one.
Well, I just want to see more interaction with the divide, like even not even a focus tree, but like I'd like to see, you know, talk about just like the divide seems like it's kind of just an empty space, like it's like almost like a
It's a stepping
It's just
stone
kind
to
of
make it harder for the NCR to attack House.
not even, yeah, I mean that, but like not even really that. They're kind of just like a thing that's in the way for part of the game, and then you kill them.
Yeah.
Like in the NCR like playthrough, at least the ones that I've done, they're literally just like they're there until they're a thing that you just kind of have to deal with. They're not even like a problem. They're just a chore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to see that revamped in some way.
How much word tension have we developed? So, world tension is a mechanic that the higher the war... every time we declare war on someone, it builds the world tension. Higher war tension means it's easier for everyone to declare war, but the more you personally contribute to it, the more people will want to go to war with you. So we want to keep our war tension low. We've generated 3 points of it, so I think I can afford to start justifying war on the cons. Yeah.
Have they already done their, are they doing, like, their focus with, or have they already done, like, some of the focuses to get the non-aggression back with Caesar's Legion?
Yes. So,
okay.
But that doesn't mean Caesar's Legion will attack us, it just means Caesar's Legion will never attack them.
Right. But what I was going to say is that, if they don't do that focus, you shouldn't attack them. Like, if they hadn't done that focus, but before you attack them, then there's a chance that Caesar's Legion will go down the opposite tree to that, where they attack them and take over their stuff.
Which would make them want to attack us.
If they went down, yeah, that would give them a war goal on you, which wouldn't be good for your health.
Yeah. Alright, that's good to know.
Yeah, so just for future reference.
Yeah, we've got some wars going on up here, but nothing that's super pertinent to us yet. I'll find a place where there's a war going on, zoom in on it so that people can watch colors change. But yeah, one thing is they've mentioned, though, that the Courier isn't canon to Old World Blues, the protagonist of Fallout New Vegas. But I was thinking it would be really cool... Oop, hold on, I got another decision to make. This is gonna happen a lot. Me saying something and getting pulled away by game events. So yeah, these are all of the different decisions I have to make, and different trees and choices and paths I can go down, so... I've already dedicated to keeping House in charge rather than overthrowing him. Because we technically don't play as House, we play as the nation that is New Vegas. The ethereal concept of the nation. So no matter who the leader of the country is, we are still controlling.
Yeah. You play as some omnipotent being controlling the actions of this nation.
We're the equivalents to Uncle Sam.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So, I'm gonna do securing the north. West Side might be a safe place these days, but Vegas is bigger than West Side. Bigger than any side. The Kings intend to make sure that everyone knows it. They are just throwing caps at the area, clearing out rubble, setting up defensive barricades. Some say they are getting ready for war. Others think they are just nice guys. So, yeah, with that, previously we had reopened the 3 big casinos of the Strip and put people in charge. So, in charge of the tops is the Kings, a group of people who worship Elvis with a sort of pseudo-religious fervor, viewing him as a great man. And they're like hugely humanitarian, wanting to help all the people of the wasteland. The Ormartas, who are, I believe, like just drug dealers, essentially, we put in charge of the Gomorrah. And they are our backdoor to, like, they allow Mr.House to make things illegal so that he can arrest people for doing it, but then he secretly lets the Ormartas doing it so he can still have his back pocket in the illegal things. He's creating an artificial prohibition so that he can profit off it. And then the Ultralux, the Ultralux, I put the Fiends in charge, and they were straight up like drug-addicted psychopathic raiders, but I've semi-reformed them, but they're still very, like...
drug-addicted psychopath.
Yeah.
They're basically like the mob, but like, you know, the mob, like a different...
Yeah. The Omortas are the mob.
Yeah.
The Fiends are like gangster mob. And so, With the kings, the kings are going out and like improving all of the areas around Vegas for us. We've given them permission to be like the humanitarian face of Vegas. But yeah, anyway, back to colors and what I was saying. It's like the courier, he's not canon to Old World Blues. So I think it would be cool if they actually made him canon and he was put inside the trees for NCR, Legion, and Mr.House. And whichever side got to him first claimed him, blocking the others from getting them on board. And he'd become something like a great military general. So that war's over, so let's zoom in on this one over here instead. Yeah, they, actually, let's watch this war. Oh god, like I said, lots of moments of me getting interrupted.
Who's fighting in the war that you're watching?
Hold on. I just got a couple more troops finished being constructed. I'm building robots everywhere. And actually, I should be building them somewhere close. Sorry, it's been a while since I played this. Oh yeah, so I stopped training them for now. Because I have more than a big enough army at the moment. We're going to start justifying war on the cons. We're going to try and take Bitter Springs. So anyway, what I was saying was...
oh yeah. This one goes.
Right here, the Lanius cohorts are attacking the executives. The executives, being an original creation of the mod developers, are a group of vault dwellers. Vaults being massive underground shelters that were built pre-war. It's a collection of vault dwellers that formed a small nation. Lanius cohort is like the top general of Caesar. He's been given his own area to expand militaristically through. But, what I think... well, hold on, let me look at my research tree. We're going to teach our people how to decode, smoke signals. So, what I was saying is, I think it'd be cool if Legion, NCR, and House were all given, like, quest tree options to try and recruit the courier. And he would be a super good military general. And he would also be able to, like, you know, basically he'd give whichever faction got him an upper hand. But he'd be even more interesting for House in that, you could choose to have him overthrow House the same way that in this you can have Benny or the Kings, whoever you put in charge of the tops, overthrow Mr. House, creating a whole new courier-focused tree. We're going to invest in small businesses to get more money.
I'm inclined to agree with you that that's a good idea, but I think that is one of those things that, it's like, how did they put it? Important business, yes, but due date, no. You know? Where, like, it's a thing that they should do, but not pertinently, because I feel like there are bigger issues than that.
I view this as, like, a thing they do down the road, kind of thing. We're gonna get a few more factories building things. Uh-oh, I need more power plants. Let me get on that. But, hold on, I should actually build a few more of these as well. Yeah, that's something they should get to, like, at some point, is what I was thinking. And, the other thing that was in the courier tree, you should be able to have options to have the courier, do stuff in the divide, where conquering the divide is locked off till you send the courier through. Like, no one is able to declare war on the divide unless they have the courier, you know?
Yeah.
And they've sent the courier on a quest line. Similarly,
I'm thinking
the courier should have a quest in Zion where whoever controls the courier can affect Zion long term.
What I was thinking on that topic, because I was gonna bring up something like that, is what if it's the inverse, where the divide are the people who have the courier, and you get the courier by declaring war, by like doing focuses to go into the divide.
But that would make it really hard to let the Legion take the Divide. And I mean, the Courier, while he does things in the Divide in story, like, I don't want to spoil too much about it. The Divide is Location 1 New Vegas' DLCs. He's not, like, from the Divide by any means.
I thought that was like what they were hinting at with some of the dialogue stuff, is like he or she or they.
The Courier in their life traveled all through, like, the area up here, up and down California, and even deep into Caesar territory and north towards New Canada. He basically, all this area he traveled through in his life, and the Courier, or the Divide was just one pit stop. For the Courier, the Divide was just a place where he made deliveries. It's Ulysses that the Divide was important to.
Okay, that's what I was. I guess that's where I was mistaken, because I thought, I remember whenever I played it, if you like convince him of certain things, he basically is like, the Divide was your home too, stupid, and like he talks about how like you lived there for a period of time or something like that. It's all very weird.
But I think low-key, like, they never get too dedicated to it because it's your character's story. It's a very RP-heavy game. You could theoretically make the same argument about New Canaan or Reno, because it's heavily implied that your character would settle down and spend days and weeks in different places, the same way you do to Vegas in the game. You know, you settle down in the Vegas region and spend months there. You know,
up to a year, I think, is like the general amount of time between. I guess I shouldn't say spoilers, because it's literally the first thing that happens when you get press the new game button for Fallout.
Yeah, you get shot in the head.
You get shot in the face, and then I think it's like a year between that and the end of the game is like the intended like amount of time.
I don't know if they've actually declared an intended time for Vegas.
I just mean like the amount of time that passes if you like go around and you don't, not doing every single quest, but doing like a good amount of the stuff and helping out all the factions that you're with in all the ways that you can.
Most game adventures do tend to take about a year in Fallout.
Yeah, but that's just because.
Also, if we look up here, these people have broken into Civil War. Because, what happened, this is all based on Van Buren. Dog City had, like, a big old robot police force that was, like, all shut down, and these guys accidentally just turned it on. So now all the robots in the city got turned on and are attacking them because they're criminals, because they're raiders.
Because they're literally criminals.
I've never seen the Warden win independently, but I'd be interested in seeing who wins. Because the Warden winning can actually spell interesting things up here, potentially.
Oh, it's really interesting. I've had playthroughs where I play as the Warden, and it's a really fun game to play, because it's like you don't rest in that game. Like if you play as Dog City, it's like hard spike towards the beginning, and then there's just a lull of like 3 years, and then it like jumps back up in difficulty if you haven't like prepared correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But with Warden, it's like every second of your existence is being contested.
Yeah. Alright, we finished securing the
Which is funny
north.
because you're a robot and you're like, one of the quest lines is literally you proving that like you're capable of doing this, basically.
Mm-hmm. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna arm the Armatas so that they can be sort of a secondary defense force into Vegas. Like giving them illegal firearms so that if anything ever attacks Vegas, they're all armed. Actually, I probably should have
give the mob a bunch of guns and then tell them, hey, shoot anybody you don't like.
The mob works for House. So
that's true.
Mobster Army. The Armatas are always packing heat, explosives, and thousands of other nasty things. When push comes to shove, they are the closest thing any New Vegas family has to an army, countless men looking to prove themselves. But yeah, an interesting is like Fallout 1 story. Ooh, hold on. Game's auto-saving, so it's taking a moment to let me move again. Here we go. New Vegas' story Fallout 1 story takes place sort of like in this window here. Like, the furthest... Ooh. The northern border is like Shady Sands to Like, the northern Luca range, kind of, is the furthest north you go in Fallout 1. The furthest south you go is, like, Greater Dayglow. And you never go past Baker on the side of the map. Like, you never get to see the Divide or Baker, really. Well, you barely see Baker, I believe. Then Fallout 2, its bottom half is shady. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, just making little political decisions. The bottom half of the map is shady, and it, like, runs up covering New Reno, Vault City, all the way as far north as Arroyo. And then Fallout New Vegas is just as far south as the Mojave Outpost, as far north as Ruby Hill, with the DLCs including Ashton and Hopeville, Zion, and a couple of locations that aren't physically on the map. But, and what I find interesting is the canceled Fallout Van Buren. It would have been, the bottom left corner would have been Hoover Dam, and the top right corner would have been the area just past Dog City. So it would have been a nice, big, meaty chunk. And that's where a lot of the content the mod developers put up here came from, is based on the, Van Buren lore. Like, Twin Mothers were going to be a part of Van Buren lore. Circle Junction, the Hound Dogs, the Owoboos. You know, all these guys were going to be part of Van Buren's story. You know? Dawson?
Sorry, what? I zoned out. I've
It's
zoned out a
okay.
lot, I'm sorry.
It's whatever.
What did you say?
I was just talking about Fallout lore.
Oh, okay. Last thing I heard was content from up in this general area coming from Van Buren, and then my brain went, ugh, did like the dial-up sound.
It's okay. I know the last update, the developers added all of this area, like Texas and Oklahoma. And I believe the next big expansion, if I remember rightly, is actually going to add like everything from down here all the way up to the Great Lakes. I may be remembering that wrong, but I think that's what they're planning.
I thought they were going to like finish everything they started in Canada and stuff, and they were going to have up north actually people up north actually have like focus trees and shit.
Maybe they are gonna. I think they are gonna. Yeah, because they usually do map expansion, double back on old area, map expansion, double back on old area. So maybe the next expansion is gonna be reforming this, and I'm just remembering it wrong.
Hope. Because the only fun game up there is playing as the pirates, and that game's fun for like the first half, and then it's just boring.
I don't remember the order they said they're gonna do things, but some of the things they've mentioned they're gonna do is they're gonna overhaul the big circle, which is like New Reno, Vault City, Antelope Tribes. All of these guys are gonna get overhauled, as well as the Rangers and 80s. There's at some point plans to overhaul the Troll War and Washington Brotherhood, Heaven's Gate, just everything up here. They have plans to add the area I mentioned over here. And, oh no, the next update that's adding to the map, I think, is going to be the Bahamas and Caribbean. I think that's what they said.
Oh,
yeah,
next. Yeah. Which I'm hyped for, because Cuba. You know, that color red might be a little upsetting to everybody else on the map.
Oh shoot, I'm getting a phone call.
Guess I'll keep everybody occupied while you're on the phone. Oh, Lord.
Alright, sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yeah. Long term.
I sat here in silence because I just forgot what I was gonna talk about. So I just it was awkward.
Oh, it was the Cuba stuff. But yeah. They've said long term the plan is just all of this, but you know they're doing it chunk by chunk. I cannot wait for them to get up to the East Coast, because like my favorite Fallout games are on the East Coast. You know.
Huh? I did it again, I'm sorry.
I said I can't wait for them to get to the East Coast because my favorite Fallout games are on the East Coast.
Well, we're not going to talk about our disagreements on our favorite Fallout games, or our disagreements on your favorite Fallout games. So we're just gonna... I am happy to have more content for one of my favorite games. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna end at that.
I mean, my 3 favorite Fallout... So, in my opinion... Because, you know, this is worth talking about because we're doing Fallout stuff. The best Fallout game is a 3-way tie between Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4. Because all of them do something else perfect. New Vegas has the perfect Fallout story. Fallout 3 has the perfect Fallout overworld. And Fallout 4 has perfect ludonarrative synchronicity. 76, I would actually say, would have easily blown all 3 out of the water as the best game if it could actually be fucking played without garbage lag and bugs destroying it, because it's an online game built in an engine not designed to be an online game.
Yeah.
Like, in my short time with 76, the map was astounding. Easily the best map I have ever explored in a Fallout game. The story, once the Wastelanders update came out, I think is really, really, really solid. And ludonarrative synchronicity, beautiful. Anyway, real quick. Skulls and suits. The consogularies aren't, I'm probably saying that wrong, aren't allowed to wear or display bones of humans, but that doesn't stop them from displaying bones, Brahmin skulls, gecko fangs, death claw fingers, and thousands of other morbid oddities decorate these vicious mafiosos. Most people are scared of them, and so far they are concerned. Wait, most people are scared of them. And so far as they are concerned, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. They're a damn good, or that is a damn good thing. So basically, this is they're getting more power in Vegas.
That's the fiends, right?
Yes.
Consigliers.
Consigliers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe, at least from what I remember. It's a weird word. Trust me. It's like, yeah, no, but I think that's what it is.
Oh man, I'm having a real problem of now I'm not producing enough circuit boards, which I have no way to actually make more of those. I need to get war with these guys soon, so I can get more territory and get more circuit boards.
You love to see it.
The resources in the game, hold on, are water, which you can build water wells if you need more of. Energy, which you can build power plants. Scrap metal, which you can build metal foundries. But then the other 3 you can't actually produce without advanced technology. They are composite material, circuitry, and advanced components. This is all stuff that we have to find in old world ruins currently. But yeah. I think Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas are all great for different reasons. You know? Because, like, Fallout 3, right? Its story isn't the strongest in the series by any means. And its gameplay is janky as all hell, the worst of the 3. Just because, like, it was the first jump to 3D Fallout made, it was put into Oblivion's engine, and Oblivion's engine was not built for guns.
And the beginning sucks.
I like the Vault intro segment. I think it does a good job of giving you a feeling of Vault life.
I liked it the first time, but, like, you had 10 years of hindsight on why you shouldn't make the beginning of your game a mandatory section of the game that you have to go through every time with Fallout 2, and how much people hated that after they replayed the game. And then you made it, like, 3 times as long.
I mean, it's not that hard to rush through Fallout 3's opening.
No, but it's tedious. I just want to play the game.
Yeah, I suppose. Fallout 4, Fallout 4 and New Vegas would fix that, but yeah, Fallout 3. But that's where, while the opening is great, what Fallout 3 does really good is, hold on, I can upgrade the economic status of Vegas. Yay!
I love upgrading my economic status.
That just means I'm gonna get more money from trade and such. But, like, what Fallout 3 does really good is two things. It's the only one of those 3 Fallout games I listed, that actually feels like it's post-apocalyptic. New Vegas and 4 are post-apocalyptic. Society has rebuilt itself for the most part in those games. The writer bands are a dying thing. Most of the world is safe now, more or less. Fallout 3, though, the main conflict is we don't have water. The most basic thing humans need is what the conflict. You know, New Vegas is a big political squabble. Fallout 4 is a ethics debate. Fallout 3 is, dear God, we need water. Ooh! And also an event just occurred in game.
In Fallout 1, it's actually that they're running out of Monster energy drinks, and that's even the most basic substance for human life.
As we established in the boss fight video, plug. But
Oh yeah, plug. Go check out that one too. That one's really funny.
But the battle for Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam, stretching across the mighty Colorado, has become the battleground between two vast forces today. On orders directly from Caesar, Malpus Legate himself is leading a massive force of legionaries and tribal auxiliaries in an attempt to seize the so-called Old World Wall from the Treaty of New Vegas. The Legion, aided by its superior numbers and fierce obedience to orders, seems to have the upper hand in the clash, but will need to carry any momentum it gains from breaking through the dam to secure to secure it from counterattack. If they should succeed, the Mojave and the Lights of Vegas will lay open for Caesar to grab. Should they fail, the Malpus Legate may find himself in a difficult spot. The NCR will retain their hold on the Mojave for a little while longer. The battle will shape the Mojave, no matter the outcome. So,
on the topic of Caesar's Legion and the Malpais Legate, actually, I want to talk about this because this was one of my favorite inclusions from the last update. They added a thing where, in some of the backstory decisions and some of the focus decisions, as Caesar's Legion, you can choose to have Caesar do more than he did canonically, at the cost of his lifespan decreases. And so, if you bum rush all of the good stuff in exchange for Caesar's health, he goes down the drain. He goes gone as soon as you can literally do 8 focuses and kill him. It's
Jesus.
Funny, but if you do it quick enough, you can actually have the Malpais Legate become the new Caesar. And he actually does a competent job balancing espionage and battle tactics, unlike Legate, the Legate Lanius, who is just bro, what if we just kill all the spies, all of our own guys, because I don't like them? It's gonna be great.
That's interesting, but yeah.
It is. I love it.
Now what's happening here is the first battle of Hoover Dam, in which the Mojave territories, with very little support from the NCR, are going to need to fight back Caesar's Legion. Now, if I recall, the end state of this war isn't actually the Legion dying. The Legion wins if they eliminate the Mojave territories. That's what their goal is. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, Dawson. Well, the NCR, I believe they just need to be holding the dam at the end of the year or something like that.
It does what in the context of the game is called a border dispute, where it selects a random selection of 5 units that are attached to the border from each faction, and they fight, and it does a single battle, and whoever wins that battle gets the buff to the win of they win the Battle of Hoover Dam. And so if the border dispute goes in favor of...
Hold on. You keep reading or saying that. I got a phone call.
Okay.
You continue to the audience.
So the border dispute, if it's settled for the Legion, they get Hoover Dam and they get a focus that's like, congratulations, we did it, we succeeded at Hoover Dam. Now it's time to move on to the rest of the NCR, and they get a war goal in the NCR. But if the NCR wins, the Legion goes down their other focus tree, the other path of their focus tree, which is basically like, we lost, we need to redo our style of fighting because it obviously isn't working for us. And also we're gonna set a guy on fire and throw him into the Grand Canyon because he failed, and just stuff like that. And then they have to go a longer route to get the war goal on. Well, they have to go a longer route to get another attempt at the Battle of Hoover Dam, and if they fail at that one too, then they just get a straight war goal on the NCR. But because the NCR is more industrialized, them having more time is good for that war, because for the NCR, I should say, because they now have more time to use their industry to their advantage, whereas Caesar's Legion just has a better starting.
I'm back. Hello.
Hi. I think I summarized it pretty concisely.
All right.
I'd like to brag about the fact that I actually felt really good about how I summarized that.
We're gonna teach our people how to miniaturize circuitry to make better computers.
Oh, very cool, very cool. That thing that like nobody figured out for like all the time that in the actual canon of Fallout.
In the Fallout universe, people didn't discover circuit boards until like 2 or 3 years before the war.
Yeah. They were still using vacuum tubes.
So, circuit boards saw very limited use. Mostly military technology.
I wonder where Paladin Dance gets all the fusion cores he needs to run his armor.
He works with the Brotherhood.
Well, yeah, but like he can't like just get supplies for free. He has to buy them from Proctor Keegan. So like, does he just have like a constant flow of money coming in, or like does he have like a thing worked out with Proctor Keegan? Like, how does he get all this money to buy all these fusion cores?
Maybe he's picking up loot on the side alongside you.
I can.
Yeah, he's taking his cut of the pay.
You know, I'd say that's pretty plausible. Also, the Brotherhood does seem to have an abundance of these things that you can just like roll up to like an ammunition box and like, here's 4 fusion cores.
For those who don't know, fusion cores are micro fusion generators that advanced military technology runs on in the Fallout universe, such as power armor, a suit of armor that basically makes you into a walking tank.
Oh, sorry, I bumped into the mic. Or also like large civilian vehicles, or like civilian items like generators and things like that also use fusion.
Certain robots. I like to think the house robots run on fusion cores. But like,
I would be able
more
to tell
advanced
you
fusion core.
Yeah, I think actually they have like not like a fusion core, but like a fusion generator that is like advanced enough to work without the need of like constant resupplying of fusion cores like you do armor. Because I think a robot that is the size of a suit of power armor would probably require more power than a suit of power armor, because it, along with running all the stuff to like move around, it also has to run all the computing stuff. Maybe not. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's like it's the same amount or less because of something. Movie magic. I don't know. It's a video game.
But
internal logic is not a thing. It just can't.
What was I talking about before the war for Hoover Dam broke out?
What do you mean?
I was saying something, and then the war for Hoover Dam broke out and destroyed. Oh yeah. Fallout 3
So
being the only apocalyptic feeling Fallout game.
Yes. Although I'd argue that Fallout 1 and 2 also feel... Well, Fallout 1 more than Fallout 2, but Fallout
I'm
Fallout
referring
2
to
like...
the Bethesda games.
Oh, the
Fallout
Bethesda
1 and 2 are just great. They're great
fantastic.
by the standard of the type of game that they are.
Yeah.
We need to put that out there.
They're not as friendly to new players.
Modern day, they're if you like isometric RPGs, Fallout 2, well, actually, both of them have flaws. Fallout 1 is really easy to get into and solid all the way through, but very small. Fallout 2 is much bigger, but has the shittiest opening in all of gaming.
Yeah, it's awful. Like
You know
it's
this
that
role-playing
literally
game
like
where you can solve every single thing in the game through, like, through violence or through non-violence, through diplomacy or intelligence. Like, there's a million solutions to everything. The tutorial, you have to kill, like, a bunch of monsters and there's no other solution.
you kill a bunch of radiated monsters and then you blow up a wall with a bomb.
Which, if you don't have good explosive skills, you just kill yourself.
You just die.
Like, its intro is terrible. Which, honestly, if I could go back and, like, if I were to, say, remake Fallout New Vegas myself, and Fallout 2 myself, what I would totally do is give, like, a bunch of branching, like, I would make the temple have branching paths that have different solutions, sort of like what they plan to do with the Tibet's prison facility, or Tibbet's prison facility, that was going to be the intro to Fallout Van Buren, where you would escape your prison cell in a prison break, and then there would be, I think it's like 3 different corridors that you could go down, right? And it would very clearly spell out to you what you needed to do. One corridor was just going to be full of robots you'd have to fight, kill, and run through. Another corridor was going to be full of, like, security cameras and, like, locked doors, so you would have to sneak through and pick locks and stuff. And the last one was literally just going to be a terminal you have to hack for the smart... So, which would have established the entire, like... Oh no, and then there was going to be a 4th path that you would, like, be able to diplomacy your way through somehow. I don't remember the details. Because the whole game is going to be built around the 4 branches of Combat Boy, Stealth Boy, Smart Boy, and Stealth Boy.
Yeah. Like there's the great example is in Fallout 2. There's a part where there's a nuclear power plant that's being run by a bunch of
2
ghouls.
seconds. The NCR won the Battle of Hoover Dam. Continue.
Yeah. So you find a power plant that's full of ghouls, which are like irradiated humans who had their genetic code changed by radiation, so that they're not affected by radiation. They have adapted to a world of radiation, but they also live super long for some reason. It's not exactly explained why.
It kind of is.
But is it just like their cells are resilient to stuff?
It's not the radiation that mutated them. It was an experimental pre-war evolution virus that in the bombs got released into the atmosphere and affected certain individuals.
Okay.
That's sort of the interesting thing about Fallout is it leads you to think like, oh, radiation made all these mutants, herder. But in every game you go and learn...
That's not what radiation does.
Yeah, but because pop culture said it was radiation, all the people in the world assumed it was radiation. But in every game, if you dig around enough, you find out, no, it wasn't radiation, it was FEV. This virus the government was working on that, when the bombs dropped, got released from a bunch of places, and latched onto certain creatures. Some beings are immune to it, some aren't. And the ones that aren't got infected and evolved faster. And so, ghouls are people who are present around both FEV, radiation, and had the right DNA combination that when the FEV triggered alongside the radiation, it made them immune to radiation. But also FEV just in general lengthens lifespan. And the FEV bonded with the radiation in such a way in the person's DNA that now ghouls' radioactive material, rather than causing cancer and horrible things, it boosts their healing system and their metabolism and all of that to basically make radioactive material act as a super healer.
They're basically like inverse Superman, where the bad radiation makes them like do well because they're like plant. But yes, so that's a good explanation of what ghouls are and a good explanation of Fallout in general. But back to what I was saying, the ghouls are running this power plant. Oh my lord! Hold on, I am being summoned.
Oh.
I will return.
In the meantime, I'll go back to what I was saying before. Actually, in the meantime, I'll read my next quest decision. Alright. So, the killer Cologne man The Killer Cologne Men is something of a hit in the streets. No one knows what the fiends make it from. Okay, it's not about a drug. Know what the fiends make it from. But everyone agrees it smells a little bit like mute fruit and a little bit like blood. Regardless, it's a hit with the streets of New Vegas. And any guy or gal who's worth a thing is wearing it. Oh, it is a cologne. It's the Killer Cologne. Oh my god. I'm just stupid.
I return.
Hello.
Hello. So what happened? The cologne?
Oh, the fiends are making cologne now.
Oh, very cool. Guess we can just call them the colognes, and now we don't even have to call them the consiglières.
What was it that you were saying?
Yes, so this power plant, you find out that the reactor is leaking radiation, which isn't affecting these ghouls because they're ghouls, but it is affecting other people. And so you have to stabilize the reactor. So you can just be an absolute badass and run in there into the live nuclear reactor and like switch on the nuclear cleansers or the radiation cleansers, which is a totally viable option. But you can also like convince another guy to do it, somebody who isn't, vulnerable to radiation, like one of the many ghouls around. Or you can just not do it and convince the people that you asked you to do it that you definitely did do it. Or you can program a robot to do it, because robots are also, not very affected by radiation. So yeah, it's the many branching paths of Fallout 2.
Yeah, and for a lot of the plans of Van Buren, the unreleased Fallout 3 from the original developers, would have extended on that, making nearly every quest have 4 solutions, sometimes more. Just different solutions would have given different benefits. You know?
Yeah. They just kind of... yeah. Words.
Oh, there's a lot of work going on down here. Let's just watch funny colors change while we talk. But yeah, what I was saying though is, Fallout 3, like, it has the depressive tone, but it also does something else that I personally like, in that there's a much grander sense of exploration. For starters, you begin in the dead center of the map. And then, like, what it is enemies close to the middle are weaker, and the further you get from the center of the map, the stronger the enemies get. In addition to enemies scaling with you on level. So if you go to the very edge of the map, you're going to be dealing with, like, death claws and super powerful super mutants and people in power armor. It's going to be terrifying. And so, and in addition, the main story... Oh, we can go to war now. The main story of the game only takes you to, like, about a third of the map space. The rest of it, you just have to sort of go and explore on your own, taking the vaguest inklings of information you get from random wanderers in the radio. There's a lot more feeling of discovery. We're going to war now. We're gonna get the followers to help some of our people, and we're gonna slow down time as the war happens. But, and so...
Don't mind me just slowing down time. No biggie.
Wait, what?
I said, don't mind me just slowing down time. No biggie.
Yeah. But yeah, in, Fallout... Yeah, that's, like, what I think is good about Fallout 3, but like I said, Fallout 3's story is very bare bones. Has a role-playing game, you don't get to make a lot of decisions outside of, like, a couple of cool decisions in the Pit DLC, and a few...
Fallout 3, literally, like, it's you don't really have a choice in how the story plays out.
You work with
until
one
the very
faction.
end, whenever you get the pick bad ending button.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of little things in Fallout 3 where it doesn't feel roleplay-like. Like, there's a lot of my complaints. Like, it's got bad gameplay, it's not strong in roleplay, and...
I feel like some of the characters are very weakly written. Like,
actually,
you can destroy an entire town, and your father is like, "I'm disappointed, son."
Yeah, that's
Or
fair.
man.
It has some of the most interesting characters, though, in terms of, like... It hits better than most other Fallout games, that mix of zany fun and deeply depressing.
Yeah.
Where, like, oh, let me go and talk to the slavers who enslave and kidnap children and men and women and force them to do manual labor, but they also live in a zany like park with like a bowling alley and an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And they got a person who talks with a funny voice in their team. Like, it's totally all over the place in a way that I kind of like.
I just wish that there was more substance to being a good guy.
Yeah.
For any of them. You know?
But,
well, like with... You're talking about Nuka World, right? Or did I mishear you?
No, I'm talking about the pit.
Oh, the pit. My bad. With the, I feel like with the pit and Nuka World, both of those DLCs have the same problem of you're inclined to be a bad guy because being the good guy options are so barren and boring.
Yeah. We'll get to the Nuka World DLC and its problems in a bit.
Yeah.
But
the fact that every quest for the first half of it is the same with like a new enemy.
Yeah. But yeah. Fallout 3, like I said, amazing overworld. Great tone, but ludonarrative synchronicity not very high. Gameplay a little subpar, story not great. Oh man, my robots are really having a hard time with this war. What the fuck? Guys, come on. This isn't that hard.
Do they have enough supply to
Yes, they definitely do.
And they have enough what you call it?
Oh no, they don't have enough supply. Fuck.
Yeah. I need to remove some of them from the front and then just like do a slower push.
Right now I'm just sort of letting the AI take control of it because I usually don't have much trouble with this.
Right.
Because it's the cons. They've got at most they got at most double my army size. But also they're like guys with pipe guns and crowbars. I'm super robots.
They have knives, but yeah. So you need to take a couple guys out the front at least for a little bit while you build up infrastructure in that on that side on the front, so that way you can get more supplies to them.
It's not that their supplies aren't getting to them. The problem is that I'm not building the supply. Okay, there we go. Now we've caught up in supply production.
Okay.
There's a brief moment where I didn't have enough Robco robots to back them up.
Okay. So that's equipment. So there's a difference between equipment and supply. I thought you meant that you if you can look at the supply map mode in the game.
Oh
and
yeah.
that's like not stuff that you produce in the factories on purpose. It's like bullets and
supply load is totally like they're in the supply region of the capital. Nothing's gonna struggle to get to them.
Okay.
But yeah, what I was saying, but then there's Fallout New Vegas. Now Fallout New Vegas, what it does well is its story is incredible. Like, through and through, it's got a fantastic fucking story. Everything about it, the main story, the side quests, the DLCs all feed back into that primary theme of do not let the past hold you back. Acknowledge the past, learn from it, and look to the future. And that you have all of these different factions that are trying to rebuild the old world. You have all these different people who are obsessed with the old world and longing for the old world, or are looking at the mistakes of the old world and being like, how can we ever fix this? And it's old world blues. It's the theme of New Vegas is that everyone is so caught up in the old ways, and you just need to learn to move on and look to making a better future.
Sorry, say that again. What did you say?
Oh, I was just saying how great New Vegas' story is and how it fits into the theme.
I'd agree with you that the DLC, at least for Fallout New Vegas, definitely has that theme of let go of the past. But I feel like the actual main story and how the endings pan out for Fallout New Vegas, I feel like most of those have a more a growing theme, less of look at the past and hope for the future. And some of them have most of the good options, or the the good endings for Fallout New Vegas kind of jive me as acknowledge the past and take what is worth keeping what is worth keeping from it, but don't get caught up in the whimsical dreams of the future.
Well, yeah, that's sort of what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Everybody's either dazzled by the future or depressed. I mean, dazzled by the past or depressed by the past, so much that they can't consider the future.
Man, I don't know what it is, but your stream's hella loud in Discord.
Oh, hello, Wilhelm. What'd you say?
I was trying to watch it. I was trying to watch the stream. It's just so unbelievably loud, and I can't lower the stream volume in Discord for some reason on mobile.
So have you looked at like the Twitch stream to see if that's also loud? Because we might have.
No, the Twitch stream is fine. That's what I was watching
earlier. The stream on Discord. Okay.
Or you shouldn't use the AI to attack.
Oh, I mean,
he's playing Mr.House. He has enough production game that literally he could have a literal.
I'm dealing with such a small, simple enemy that like I was like more focusing on being able to just talk because I figured normally the AI never struggles here, but yeah, right, the AI is fucking sucking ass today.
That's probably you should The reason why they're losing is because their organization is really low, and that could do with a couple different things like weather and terrain.
How far back is my last autosave?
No,
July
you're fine.
Oh, just 2 days
I would just
back.
recommend like using the AI, probe the front line, see which parts of the weak, attack there, and then once you're able to like break through, use the spots you weren't able to break through, hold them in place.
Yeah, I know how to do like wars good in this game. It's just I was like, normally I'm able to just with this war set the AI, be like go and kill the cons, and then turn away and do something else. But it seems like today they're struggling. Yeah, you focus on claiming that stuff. Because all I need to take is Bitter Springs and the North Passage, and I win this war.
Honestly, like late game New Vegas, you could literally have your dog pick up a controller or like a mouse and keyboard with its mouth, and it wouldn't be able to win. Like that's kind of the build up you're at right now. You're at the part where the game is actually difficult, and then there's gonna be like a moment.
I'm not gonna lie, for me it feels like it's usually the other way around, where the early game I have no problem, and then either NCR or Legion declare war on me, and I die.
Oh yeah, no, that's just a thing of you. It's like a big hurdle trying, because like playing as a minor is fun until you have to deal with anybody who is a major.
Mm-hmm.
I'm minor as in a minor nation, not as in a person who is below the age.
No, as in a person who collects Minecraft diamonds.
Oh yeah, I was thinking
somebody
I have the game
paused. I'm stupid.
So what do you do in this game? Well, you mine, and then you craft things. Okay, what do you do with the stuff you crafted? Well, you get better stuff to mine.
Man, the next Minecraft update, I'm excited. They're remaking how mountains generate, and they're making the world 64 blocks taller and 64 blocks deeper. So we're getting new mountains, new caves, and another, like 128 blocks.
A whole 128 blocks in Minecraft, dude? I can't.
Like,
I know
well, it's a world height and world depth.
I know. It was really funny to be like, damn, brother, adding a whole 128 blocks to the game.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
But, okay. Yeah, I'm having to focus slightly more on the war now, because you're right, this has dragged on way longer than it should have. It's just not doing...
What you can do is, I know you're playing New Vegas, so you might not have enough sacrificable territory, but you could always move make a fallback line, and move some of your troops back to bait them into trying to attack you and lowering their organization until you can like come back with all the troops that you like had fall back, and you can have them attack the line, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're entrenched right now, right? Because their troops have been on your border for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can definitely like.
I just want to push and take the territory is what it is right now.
That's fair.
Because I just need to take these 2 little plops of land. That's it.
Oh, and whenever you're dealing with NCR and the Legion, what you can do
Oh,
is
you just dig into a border and let them throw their troops at you and die, especially if it's the Legion. Oh fuck!
Yeah,
How'd I lose a piece of land? God damn! Today the AI just isn't on ball. But on the bright side, if I can take this city, then these guys are cut off from the mainland and just die.
Die. They just.
Yeah, I was so distracted by what we were talking about, I didn't realize how horribly my people are losing the war. Let's get... I need more electricity, so let's improve the generators I'm building.
Whenever you take Hoover Dam, you probably just all the electricity.
Yeah.
That's something you don't get is like the power that you need from Hoover Dam, like that in game that the NCR needs from Hoover Dam, doesn't at all factor into because the NCR doesn't use robotic like soldiers, so the actual power resource in the game is kind of worthless to them because they don't have enough things to warrant the need of that much energy. Whereas Mr.House, like, his entire army is robots. He actually needs the power from that. So it makes sense that he would want it. It's just, it's strange.
Well... I'd argue for the NCR, it's more of a symbol than anything.
How do you mean?
Like, the NCR is all about old world America. And what's more of a symbol of old world America than the Hoover Dam when we're talking West Coast?
Las Vegas.
And Hoover Dam is
I get
to take Vegas, but you know, you got San Francisco, which is arguably already an ally of theirs. You got Los Angeles and Hollywood, which they already own. You got the Hoover Dam, which is what they're fighting for. I guess they can fight their way to Seattle.
Go all the way to... Well, I feel like the NCR, I wouldn't say they're necessarily trying... Well, I'd say that there are key people in the NCR who are trying to replicate the old world government. Like, what's his head? The science guy that you meet and he sends you to the vault in New Vegas. You know? Because he literally has a line where he's like, "We're the government, for God's sakes. You can trust us." And they're like, "Yes, because everybody knows you should always trust the government every time, no matter what."
Guys, I just told you all to walk in there. Okay, now I'm actually winning the war now that I've taken some control of it. Although that being said, my army's a little smaller than it should be right now. I just train more Securitron divisions and drop them right here. And drop them right here. And they will be fully trained by October.
Alright, isn't that? Thank you. Oh shit. Damn. Thanks, Mom. My mother just like came in my room and said Happy Valentine's Day, gave me a bunch of food.
Yeah. That's always the best when when you don't have someone who loves you, so your mom gives you a bunch of candy. That's been me for the past several years. This is gonna be the first Valentine's Day in my life that I have a girlfriend for, and I'm gonna be streaming during it.
Got our ducks all in a row, everybody.
I'm so excited.
I don't need an assigned day to tell my girlfriend that I love her.
Yes, you do.
This is your corporate assigned day of love. You are not allowed to feel emotions on any other day.
No, listen.
Except on Leif Erikson Day.
Leif Erikson Day is a national. It's not even like a holiday. It's more than that. It's a national like day of reckoning.
If you open up Google Docs and anonymously join somebody else's documents, you can figure out what your corporate assigned furry is.
Shut up.
Because it assigns an animal to you.
What kind of chocolates do we got in here today? Oh boy. Oh, I can't tell which one that is. I'll die if I eat that one. Okay, it's the square one. Remind me to not eat the square chocolate.
Why?
It has strawberries in it, and I'm allergic to those.
Really?
Yeah.
I was assuming you were gonna say it has nuts in it. You're allergic to nuts, and I was gonna say, well, we're gonna have a problem.
No, I love nuts in my mouth.
Man, who doesn't like nuts?
There's nothing more than I like than some nice creamy nut butter in my mouth.
Sun butter, peanut butter. That's all the butters I know, other than butter.
Damn, I really did just shoot that guy in the head, huh?
But oh yeah, what I was saying earlier though was New Vegas. Like, its story is fantastic, and it's mechanically better than Fallout 3. Its shortcoming is in its map design, in that the whole map very much yeah, everybody's like, oh, if you just take a stealth boy and sneak by the death claws and run full tilt sprint through the valley full of giant scorpions, boom, you can beat to Vegas. It's a totally open world game. It's not railroading you down a certain path. No, it's railroading you down a certain path. You just found a loophole.
Well,
No, they even say that you can go that way. It's just really hard.
But, like, it's so hard that they clearly don't... the intention is supposed to be that you don't go that way. And it isn't even that they
It's
tell...
not hard.
It doesn't tell you can go that way, it's just really hard. It's every single NPC tells you, it's way too deadly, don't go that way. Don't go there, go the long way, take the long way. It's the only safe route.
right.
It's like a DM or something.
But, like... So, like, the game
it...
never feels like you're exploring and discovering. You're always being handheld to discover every location. And that's good, because every single location in the game map ties back into the main story. It all fits beautifully narratively. There's not a single ounce of wasted landscape.
I absolutely agree with you on that. That every ounce, like, every single quest has at least 2 ways in which you can get to it from doing something else.
Yeah, and every location holds some importance to the theming. If not the main plot, then the theming of the game. But the problem is, like I said, there's not much of a sense of discovery now, because the game guides you almost everywhere. You never find anything by chance, like in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And then, but it's by far the best story and the best RPG in a traditional sense of the Bethesda 3. But then, Fallout 4, what it does, it's got a subpar story, not great roleplay, but it's mechanically...
Mechanically, it dabs on all the other ones.
And its map is better than New Vegas, but less good than Fallout 3's map, in my opinion. But yeah, like, mechanically, everything, like, ludonarrative synchronicity, amazing. A Deathclaw is a thing that if you're not wearing power armor, it's gonna pick you up dead. Every time.
Dead.
Power armor, you get in it and your whole entire UI changes, your movement speed changes, you're like kunk, kunk. And like I said, things like Deathclaws are less threatening now. Like armor actually makes you feel stronger and safer, the power armor.
I agree, but I think it's too early to, like, the first quest in the game is probably, in my opinion, too early to give somebody power armor.
Again, a symptom of its horrible storytelling and pacing. It gives you power armor in the first fucking town. Like, it's balanced all wrong, but mechanically incredible. And the gunplay, the fact that VATS no longer freezes time, but bullet times instead. Amazing. Like, so many of the game's littler mechanics, again, ludonarrative synchronicity is the name of the game with Fallout 4. It's all exactly how the game lore said things should work, is how it works in Fallout 4. but it's story and RPG. And I will make a strong argument. This is something that many a true nerd said it in his video essays, and at first I was like, that's stupid. But the more I thought on him, I was like, he's got a point. Skill points have no place in modern RPGs anymore. You need perk-driven gameplay. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. Look at Outer Wilds. Like, Outer Wilds...
Whoa. You picked... Okay, Cyberpunk 2077, is that your good example or your bad example? Like, is that, like, the example of what is good?
Hang on.
What is bad?
So, Cyberpunk 77 is glitchy as fuck, but on a mechanic level, it's got solid-ass mechanics, is what I'm saying. It's a glitchy, broken mess, but if you look at it from a developmental standpoint of what is in the game for content, its content is incredible if the engine was not shit. You know?
Yeah.
If you had a non-buggy version of Cyberpunk 2077, it'd be the best RPG of our generation. It's the same way that I'd say, if you had a non-glitchy version of Fallout 76, it'd be the best Fallout game. But because it's so glitchy, it's arguably the worst.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But, so yeah, like, I think that a system that is oriented not on, like, the biggest example that can be given, again, credit to many a true nerd's video essays, the monstrosity that is Charisma 1, Speech 100, winning the final boss fight. There's not much in the way of game balance existing when you have skills in the, like, but if you compare it to instead the perk system of you get perks and every perk changes gameplay style, it adds a lot more. Like the Fallout 4 becomes a totally different game the moment you get the intimidation perk. You know?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you're going from shoot and kill to how many people can I not kill in this fight for convenience, and it also helps your roleplay immersion in that you're not killing everyone you see.
I think I agree with you, but I'd also suggest the idea that what if are games supposed to be fun is the topic of this question, first of all, and I want to know your opinion on that. Should the purpose of a game be to be fun?
For a game to be good, it either needs to... This I believe the guy who made Braid was the one who said this, but I could be wrong. A game to be good either needs to be fun or needs to make you think.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two. One of those are needed. At least one of those is needed for the game to be good. Which, again, I agree with.
Now, my question is, should all games, or rather, can you make a game that isn't fun, but it doesn't make you, like, how do I put it? Pathologic is a game that I have not played. I do not intend to play it because it is not a video game in the conventional sense. It is a pain simulator. It is basically, you're not playing a game where the economy is a thing you can interact with. You're playing a game about being poor, is basically what Pathologic boils down to. But my question is, can you make a game with skill points where the point of the skill points is not to make it so that you feel better about yourself, it's so that you feel limited and the world feels more dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. That is a good way to use skill points, but I'm referring to, like, a Fallout-style RPG should not have skill points anymore. The biggest example I can give is lockpicking. If your lockpicking isn't at exactly 15, 25, 50, 75, or 100, why you're wasting skill points. You need to move it up in those increments, with the exception of some drugs you can take to adjust those numbers. In those increments, or you wasted skill points by putting there. You should never put 1 point into lockpick. You always gotta put 15 points into lockpick every single fucking time you level, or you're wasting your level points. And that's a problem. Now, there's two solutions to this. Solution 1 is to create more locks of varying levels. Create level 10 locks, create level 28 locks, level 91 locks. You know, that's one solution. Or solution 2 is what Fallout 4 did. Instead of having the lockpick skill, have 4 lockpick perks. And initially you can always do the easy locks. Then there's a perk that lets you do medium locks, one that lets you do hard locks, one that lets you do very hard locks, and then one that makes it so your lockpicks never break. And I think that's a much better solution. Is to, instead of having this pointless incremental level thing, just have, like, jump to the points where a difference is made. Jump to the points where it matters. You know?
Well, what if instead of having where it's just the only difference between a medium lock and a hard lock is that you have to have the skill points to do a hard lock? What if you take a kind of pseudo Skyrim approach, where you can attack any lock you want?
But the higher level you are, the easier they are.
Well, I that's what I thought of initially. But what I was thinking more of is, what if each lock has a different level of lock has a different mechanism or has different steps to unlocking it, and by putting points into lockpicking, you gain more and more tools that make all of those steps easier. So like the level 1 lock might just be you stick the thing in and you twist it right and it unlocks. But a level 2 lock might be you have to hold something down and then do it within a certain amount of time. But if you have the skill point available, you have a tool that holds it down for you, so you can just focus on unlocking it yourself.
Or a better argument I would give is, you know how the locks are like a sweet spot mechanism. The more skill points you have, the bigger the sweet spot gets. So you can the hardest level lock, if you are at level 1 skill, will always have a pixel perfect space.
Yes.
That's an alternative
very little
method.
indication.
I guess that's a way you could make skill points work. But again, we still then have the problem of the speech 100 charisma 1. Of like.
I like Fallout New Vegas' approach of making speech a thing that you can have, but making some speech options viable. Some skills viable as speech options.
Yeah,
like
and 76 does the same thing, which is great in that 76 has luck dialogue options and strength dialogue options, where if you want to intimidate somebody, you don't intimidate with your charisma, you intimidate with your strength.
Yeah. Like the example like with EZP. You have you don't need silver-tongued words to tell him, yeah, I need you to help me with this. You need to prove yourself that you know how to use dynamite and won't blow yourself up.
Yeah. For context of those who haven't played Fallout New Vegas, there's a quest where you need to get dynamite from a guy named Easy Pete, and the only way to convince him that you are worthy to have is to be a level 25 in explosive.
Yeah, you need to show him that you know what you're doing and won't get him or somebody he cares about killed. Which is genius. I love that. That makes me so happy.
I'm eating some potatoes on the side, by the way, so sorry if I pause for a moment.
It's good. It's good. I'm eating chocolate.
God, this road's dragging on. Yeah, it's definitely that the moment I took control of the war, it went way smoother. There we go. Shabu moved to that territory.
Whenever my internet gets fixed, I was thinking, what if we did, because I know you're more ingrained with the lore of Fallout than I am, but I'm more ingrained with the mechanics of Hearts of Iron than you are. So, what if we did like not like a co-op campaign, because you can do that where like we both play the same nation.
Yeah.
But like where I play I'd play like a major nation like the NCR or something like that, and then you'd play a minor nation that is like assisting, or like you have like
an
your
ally
own goals
of the NCR.
Yeah, basically. And so like I'm working on the actual like mechanics of the stuff while you focus on like getting things that need done while I'm, acting as like your wall of defense.
Maybe. Okay. I'm gonna put my people here because these guys could eventually join the Legion. If they do, that's gonna be a problem for me.
Yeah. So take them out.
Oh yeah. Earlier while we were having our conversation, I selected this. I'm just gonna give it a read. The Lucky 38 opens. The most prominent element of the New Vegas skyline, the Lucky 38, is a pre-war relic and an endearing monument to Mr.House's vision of the vision of Las Vegas. Luxury without decadence, refinement without elitism, class without snobbery. So I'm opening up my personal casino now. Do I want the White Legs to be my next target? That's what I'm thinking about now. Is like who?
I don't think you should, because if you take out the White Legs, that save the White Legs for later, because if you take them out now, you're removing a great ally you could have in the future in the New Canaan and all of the United Tribes, because they're part of their focus tree is if the NCR won the first Battle of Hoover Dam, right?
Yeah.
Then they will most likely go down the Joshua Graham part of their focus tree, and you will have a huge ally in the whenever you fight Caesar's Legion.
Okay.
If you let the White Legs kill New Canaan the first time.
Okay. I'm just thinking. Am I able to make peace with NCR still? Or has that bridge burned?
For what? I'm sorry,
I don't know if I'm able
didn't
to
hear
make.
what you
Am I able to make peace with the NCR still?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you can still like.
They might have locked
Ally.
that behind. I don't think the House can ally with the NCR anymore.
Oh, right. You didn't do how you did Howard.
Yeah. House has to go to war with the NCR ultimately. You okay?
Yeah, I had this sour candy and I didn't get all the sour stuff off of it before I swallowed it, and it got stuck to the back of my tongue.
Oh, that's awful.
God, I almost died. I'm pretty sure if I was getting unlucky, I would die. I would have died. Shut up. I'm done. I'm not done. I'm not talking anymore.
But yeah, now I gotta figure out where exactly I'm plopping my men. You know what I mean? Who is my next target? Is it the Sky Reavers? Because I don't know if I want it to be the Sky Reavers, because that will extend my border with the NCR, which is scary. A bigger border with the NCR is not a good thing for me.
What's your border with the NCR right now?
It is right here and over here, like the Camp McCarran, Boulder Dome, all this. This mountain keeps me safe from anything northward. I think the Sky Reavers we need to keep alive.
What I would suggest doing is selecting choke points in your defenses and start start building.
I'm already working on that once I get the electricity.
Yeah.
Or the power plants I need built.
Oh, okay. And maybe only do it for some of them, because you might want to move in and take Hoover Dam and stuff like that. You might have to, because I think that's part of your focus tree is you get a claim on Hoover Dam and get a core on it.
So the question is, I can see a few options I have before me. I could take the sleepers and the Grand Canyon area here just so I have more territory, but I'm not even making use of all the factories I have, so attacking just for more factories isn't necessarily something I need to do. But the White Legs, is there a timeline in which the White Legs aren't a threat to me? Is the question.
If they do their focus to join New Canaan instead of the attacking them, but they won't be a threat to you for a while. It'll be a bit before they're.
If they declare war on New Canaan, that's when I should declare war on them.
No. You need to let them kill New Canaan, because otherwise New Canaan won't be able to do their focus tree that takes them to the fight with Caesar. Okay, they need to lose their war.
But then doesn't New Canaan choose to fucking join the NCR?
No. They form the northern. They do the stuff of the northern tribes where they puppet all of those guys around them. Yeah. No, there's a chance. There's like a tiny, minuscule chance that they will, but because you won, they made sure the Legion lost the Battle of Hoover Dam, they will almost always go with Joshua Graham over Daniel.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start having my army dig down around this area then, for now.
Come again? Sorry, I zoned out.
Jesus, you're doing that a lot, huh?
Yeah, it's the new medicine.
Right. Yeah, it's okay though. So I'm just having my guys secure the southern border. to the rest of the Mojave.
I was talking to you, and so like all my other senses kind of died, and so I just quit Fallout 4, and I didn't save, and I just left the game, and I went to desktop, and then I got here and I realized I didn't have anything to do on my desktop.
There's a quick save option, so you're good.
Oh, okay, I'm good. Still, I just thought that was funny that like I was in the middle, my brain was so occupied that I was just like, guess I'll just quit. Sorry, I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out.
Oh, it's okay. It wasn't too loud on my end.
Oh, okay, perfect. What? What are you looking at me for, dog?
Oh, looking at your dog.
Yeah, she's like, she just sat down and she's just looking at me. She's not like making any noise or anything like that. She's just looking. Probably shouldn't be such an asshole to my dog, but it's really funny. Just looking at me like, what? And she looks at me like, okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna build some outposts all along these areas, and I'm gonna build some bunkers after that.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Alright, so we got some plans to build improvements on those areas. And now I guess we play the waiting game again.
I love waiting. Favorite.
Yep. With all I said about like what Fallout games are the best, that's why I think the Fallout New Vegas and Fallout Capital Waste, or Fallout 4 New Vegas and Fallout 4 Capital modding teams are making what will be the best Fallout games ever made. They're putting Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas into Fallout 4's engine.
Which is big brain. Like, that's like...
Which I really hope we then get submods that particularly let you build settlements in Fallout New Vegas. Because I want... So, places I would love to have settlements. Good Springs at their water purification area. Let us build a settlement there with, like... You unlock it once you either help Good Springs protect themselves from the Powder Gangers, or you help the Powder Gangers take over Good Springs. With the idea being like, now that we're safe, let's secure our water place so geckos stop taking it over. You know?
Yeah, which makes sense, I mean...
Then the next one, down in Prim, which isn't on the map here, when you solve Prim's law problem, they're like, now let's start building the town back up. And that area with the, like, where it's the road overpass, you can build in. Like, in the middle there, because that's where all the traders pass through. Makes sense. Then, if you help Mojave Outpost, they're then like, well, now we need to make sure the road's safer, so that little overpass area down the road from them turns into a settlement. You know?
Right, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think that makes sense. Nipton itself is just a settlement when you go there, because it's already a dead town. Because it's already kind of on fire. That's one thing I want to talk about real quick, is that Lipton is what brought it to my mind. Is that the one thing I don't like about Fallout 3 is that there are, like, so the counter example is 3 dogs. Spoilers ahead, so like close your ears or something. I don't know. You can shoot him in the head, and then your quest becomes, go find your dad, because the one lead you had on him, you just shot in the head for no reason, really. Mm-hmm. And I wish there was more of that, because like, you can't kill the Brotherhood of Steel because you need them to beat the game for you at the end. Mm-hmm. You know.
That's something I appreciate New Vegas survival mode for, in that it deactivates essential NPCs.
New Vegas doesn't have essential NPCs. You can literally kill anybody.
No, it does have essential NPCs until you play in hardcore mode.
No, you can. I can promise you can kill literally anybody, like, without being in survival.
There are essential NPCs in normal gameplay mode. You probably just didn't realize, because they lose their essential status the moment you finish their quests.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna find this one out for you. I'm gonna use the
Like,
Google because I'm
the NCR troop in front of Helios 1, who gives you the quest to fix Helios 1, she's essential right up until the moment in which you, finish the Helios quest. Or anybody who most of the people who talk to you about, Benny are essential.
I just looked it up. In Fallout New Vegas, the only NPCs, aside from children, that are essential are companions currently in the character's party.
Really? I could have sworn that...
Yeah.
Huh.
And companions lose their essential status whenever you're in hardcore.
Oh, that's my bad.
No, you're good. I thought I was losing my mind because I distinctly remember doing a run where I literally walked around killing everybody that I found because I thought it was funny.
So in Morrowind, if you kill someone important to the main quest, the game lets you know with a little pop-up that's like,
You can't do the main quest anymore.
No, but it's done like sort of in universe terms where it's like, the strings of fate have been cut. Reload a previous save or live forever within this doomed timeline you have created.
Which I love. I think more games should do that because it's just hilarious.
Somebody took that text box and put it over a picture of a spilled milk carton in the middle of McDonald's. It's fucking hilarious. Like, I saw the picture and it just fucking killed me.
I love that so much. That makes me happy.
Alright,
Get 'em.
now what I'm gonna do is small arms innovations. The common man of Vegas deserves a weapon that's a cut above the rest. It's responsible to be... excuse me. It's reasonable to be unreasonable when it comes to spending caps on firearms, after all. So now I'm giving my people guns, essentially is what that translates to. I'm making guns in manufacturing places.
Second Amendment, baby!
Love.
Oh hey, my phone just gave me the notification that you're streaming.
Oh,
like thanks.
It's possible what happened is sometimes the internet will fuck up and Twitch will cut the stream and then immediately restart it. So that could have happened.
No, because I remember looking and seeing that you were streaming on Twitch, like, oh, yeah, okay, that might be it. But, like, I didn't get a notification whenever you started streaming, so I think it's just my phone being dumb and being like, oh, you started streaming, guys, look!
You know, an hour and a half in.
An hour, yeah, literally an hour into...
But yeah, oh yeah, what I was saying, there was places where I'd love to see settlements in New Vegas. Novak? I think after you help them with their RepCon situation, just like... I want to say the plot of land in front between the hotel and Dinky the dinosaur would be good. Like, you're basically expanding the hotel, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like that courtyard.
Oh. Before we continue, I want to say, I'm playing Stellaris now, and I'm playing a faction that I made that's literally like my not canonical, but like my headcanon for the house ending of Fallout New Vegas, where you actually do go to space, and so I'm like a machine consolidation of Earth, led by Mr.House. I like it. It's neat.
That's funny. Yeah. If you help the Brotherhood, you should just get Hidden Valley as a settlement. Like, the surface of Hidden Valley.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence of whether or not Helios 1 should get a settlement assigned to it.
I don't think so. I think that should be a quest. There should be, like, a quest where you get, basically, like, the ability to link one of your settlements to Helios 1 for the power.
Yeah. Cottonwood Cove should be given to you as a settlement if you join the Legion. Boulder City should be a settlement.
You think?
Yeah. You should be able to turn rebuild Boulder City essentially.
I think but after you you do the thing to get rid of the radiation.
Yeah.
I almost talked about how to get rid of it, and I was like, wait a minute, no, don't do that. We need to keep them secret.
That's just some of like the I'm most familiar with the early half of Fallout New Vegas. My brain goes dumb because I haven't actually done the latter half of Vegas in years. Because I'll regularly start a new game, get as far as the strip, and then get distracted and do something else, and I'll go back and I'll be like, let's make a new game. I've beaten...
Yeah,
I don't think I've actually ever done the Battle of Hoover Dam. I've gotten, like, right up to it and then been like, now let's go do the last couple DLCs I haven't done yet.
yeah.
But I don't think I've ever done the Battle of Hoover Dam.
The Battle of Hoover Dam is... I will admit that once you do the Battle of Hoover Dam, there's, like, what if you do it and you have all of the stuff, that, like, all of the, what do you call it?
Factions.
You've done all the stuff for all the factions. It's kind of a cakewalk, but in my opinion, that's kind of one of the points. Is like, you have done enough that this battle was not difficult at all because you have so many.
Because you put in the work.
Yeah, because you put in the work and just have all these people come in to roll on you, or roll on your enemies.
Let's watch some map colors change.
I love the map painting games. They're my favorite.
Yeah. Man, I think I mentioned this during the last stream, but like now, Microsoft has bought Bethesda. Microsoft also owns Obsidian. Obsidian being the studio that the original Fallout developers formed after their company went under. Meaning that Fallout
Vegas 2, baby. I mean, what?
Yeah, exactly. Fallout's under the house of the people who made the original Fallout, and the buyout lines up perfectly with Outer Worlds like DLC development cycle being done. If Microsoft didn't immediately turn to like Obsidian and be like, "So, want to make the next Fallout?" I am going to be shocked. You know?
Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked too. But I'm hoping the next Fallout is code for Fallout New Vegas 2. I really want New Vegas 2.
What I want for Fallout games are, I would love this area right here, around Toronto
Fallout
and the Great
2,
Lakes.
2.
Ooh, hold on. I got a bunch of pop-ups in game. Boop, ba-doop, boop, 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 ba-doop, boop. But yeah, this region right here between the Great Lakes would be cool with Toronto, because there's been a light amount of acknowledgement of cool stuff being in that area, but not a lot. Another one I want, the Texas Triangle of Houston to Austin to Dallas. Or no, it's Houston to is that Santa Fe that has the Alamo? I forget now. But yeah,
that would need to be not Santa Fe is in New Mexico. You're thinking of Los Alamos? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm dumb. These three cities. I kind of want to get coffee in a bit.
Okay,
I feel like
that's actually good idea. Good idea. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Not yet though. But and the last thing, the one that I almost expect them to do, give us Van Buren. Go to the area of Dog City and Twin Mothers and fucking, what was it? Circle Junction. You know, Navarro. Go up here. Give us that, and that will be the air quotes New Vegas 2, where you learn who won in the Battle of Hoover Dam, and you learn which. Let's face it, it's probably going to canonically be the NCR.
Bro, yeah, most likely it's going to be the guys that are like the quote-unquote good guys.
Yeah. And you learn that the NCR has been pushing up and up and up the Colorado since, and now they're trying to claim all this shit up here. And you're just sort of dealing with that and all, you know, you're up here. Because I desperately want the Twin Mothers storyline that was in the Van Buren Bible to happen. It's such a good fucking quest line.
Pretend I'm stupid and enlighten me as to what happens in that, because I wouldn't, because I definitely know, but let's pretend I don't know, you know?
And real quick, Rapid Response Network. If the Mojave and New Vegas are to survive, we shall need to be able to defend any corner at a moment's notice. This means investing in our crumbling infrastructure. I'm gonna add some infrastructure to my areas, which is more like roads and such. Basically, the bit of Twin Mothers is it's Harold's vault. Harold from Fallout 1 and 2 being a guy who occurs throughout the series. It's a vault that was populated entirely by children, with the intent being to have them be raised by a robot. Diana, a scientist, did not like this, and so instead she made a copy of her brain in a computer and took over the vault so that they couldn't, and she became sort of like a pseudo-god to them. I'm giving very much the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes version.
They grew up in this isolated mountain community that's like a beautiful Eden that has never seen any trouble, but because of that, they're completely and utterly defenseless. And as you arrive, they're like, scary monsters in our caves! Our god has stopped talking to us, what's happening? And what it is there's bugs in the cave that severed the connection to Diana's supercomputer.
So she dies, or she's unable to contact them?
She's still alive, but can't talk to them. And so you can sort of teach them to be independent, you can just let them get fucked, or you can travel all the way up to Paradise and reconnect her satellite network to them. Like, there was... Makes sense. It would have been a really cool questline from the sound of it.
Get fucking owned, children. Ah, shit! I fell. My bad. Get fucking owned, little child.
But yeah. Well, now they're all like adults. It's a tribe full of people because it's been like 200 plus years.
Yeah, but you know. Get fucking owned, adults.
We've been going for almost 2 hours at this.
Very cool, very cool.
I mean, we did the war against the Khan. We've formed some plans for the future. I think that might be the point. Yeah, to wrap this and then maybe jump to another game. Yes. So, I'm gonna save there. I could be doing terrible for all I know. I'm not good at Hearts of Iron.
Oh, it's okay. I will be there to assist you. I can't help you micromanage your military, but I can assist you in the gameplay decisions because I played the shit out of OWB.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break here for a little bit. I'm gonna get myself some coffee, all that, and then we'll come back with another game. So, see y'all soon. More to come. Bye-bye!